All right, let's look at verse 24. But when the Pharisees heard it, so these people, they were actually, how can the son of David be doing all these things? So I want to believe that while they were still there contemplating, trying to judge it, is it possible? Son of David. Even David was a king. He was not doing any miracle. Hey, this is serious. How can the son of David be doing all these things? So I believe while they were saying all those things, the Pharisees now heard it. So initially, according to the way verse 24 was written, I perceive that initially when Jesus did this miracle, the Pharisees were not there. So because they were not there, they were not aware of what Jesus did. But those that were there, they did not really believe. So it generated some kind of argument. Of course, it may not be all of them that do not believe. A part may believe while the other part do not believe. So it generated some kind of argument. Ah, we thank God. Oh. Thank which God? Do you know the source of what he did? Hey, but he just prayed. Which prayer? Don't trust all these ministers. So if you see what they are doing in the secret. So I want to believe that it generates some level of argument. So why they were arguing, it is true, it is not true. How can the son of David be doing those kind of things? It is not true. Why they were talking about this whole thing? The Pharisees now heard. That was what led to verse 24. But when the Pharisees heard it, they were not there. So how they got to know was to hear. Because if you were there, you don't the Bible will not, if they were there, the Bible will not say when they heard it. So that means they were not there. But obviously, maybe why the matter was being argued by those that saw it, they now heard it. What's happening there? And this Jesus, he did another terrible thing today. A man could not talk, could not see, and then possessed with a devil. He just casted all those things out. You won't believe the man can now see and the man can talk. It is well. Oh. That was how they now heard the Pharisees. Are you there? So meanwhile, the Pharisees were like the religious leaders. So when we say the Pharisees heard, it's more or less like the pastor heard, or the general overseer heard, the senior pastor heard, the lead pastor heard, the apostle heard. You understand? That's something like that. So the Pharisees were like the head of the synagogue at that time. They were leaders in the synagogue. They were religious leaders, people that others look up to. They were the Pharisees. Are we together? Sometimes, oh my God, one of the greatest, one of the greatest disappointment ever is when you get foolishness from where you expect wisdom. Do you get what I'm saying? One of the greatest disappointment ever is to get foolishness from where you are expecting wisdom. Is to get immaturity from where you are expecting maturity. Is to see weakness from where you are expecting strength. Is to see darkness where you are expecting light. You know, when you read that place and the Pharisees heard it, you'll be expecting that, okay, because they are religious leaders, they will now call them to order. Please, you don't have to argue. The fact that you don't believe what this man is doing does not mean he is fake. Please don't say this thing you are saying now. Don't pollute the heart of other people. Just take your time to pray about it and discern. You will know. But to start shouting on the street, this man is fake, you may pollute the heart of others. You understand? That's what, okay, at least for me, that's what I expect from the Pharisees because they are leaders, they are spiritual leaders, they are religious leaders. So you expect some level of maturity from them. Let's hear what the leaders now said. But when the Pharisees, the leaders now, because if it's single, it will be Pharisee. But the Bible here says when the Pharisees, meaning there are more than one. But when the Pharisees heard it, they said, this fellow doeth not cast out devils, but by Beelzebub, the prince of the devils. See that? When they now met their leaders, I want you to understand this thing. If you need counsel on something, maybe you are not clear about something, and you drop a message for me, what do you expect from me? Wisdom, right? You expect wisdom. That's natural. Naturally, that's what you are expecting. You expect that, oh, but I trust God that by the time at least pastor talk, I will understand some things. You understand? By the time pastor talks, at least some things will become clear to me. That's what you expect. So when the Pharisees heard it, they were expecting something like that. But unfortunately, the Pharisees now said, oh, is that Jesus? He's using Beelzebub now. He's using the power of Beelzebub. Beelzebub is the prince of devils. So that's the God he's serving. It's Beelzebub that gave him power. So they got foolishness from where they were expecting wisdom. This is the problem. When this happened, those that were in error, they felt fulfilled. They felt satisfied. Are you there? When you say what you should not say, when you address matters in the wrong way, you make certain people comfortable in their wrongs. That's the problem. When you say what you should not say, you make certain people convenient in their sins. You make certain people feel fulfilled in their misbehaviors. So now look at what the Pharisees now said now. So that means those people who left that place, who were saying, hey, this man is fake. That's a confirmation to them. They felt like, hey, that's it. Didn't I tell you that this man is fake? That's what that is saying now. Look at what it's not even, because the Bible told us Pharisees, meaning there were many. Can you see now? I told you this man is fake. Look at, that's what pastor is saying. It's not only one of our pastors, so many of them. Look at what they are, all of them now, they are saying the man is fake. Didn't I tell you? Yeah, so the fact that you have a confirmation, or somebody confirms something you are thinking, or something you are, yes, the fact that somebody confirms your thoughts does not mean it is right. Even your errors can be confirmed. Yes, look at these people now. They misunderstood Jesus and they got a confirmation. By the time they got to the Pharisees, where they were expecting wisdom from, the Pharisees said the same thing. Oh, he's using the power of Beelzebub now, the prince of devils. Can you see that? That's why don't grow old if you don't have wisdom, because you will mislead a lot of people. That's why you must go for the word. You must grow in the word of God and have wisdom. There's no other way to have the wisdom of God without receiving the word of God, because it is the word of the Lord that precipitates into wisdom. Are we together? That's it. So you will need that to lay hold on the wisdom of God, so that by the time you grow and you become an elder, your generation will not come to you expecting wisdom, and then they will go with foolishness. Are we together? So we bless you, Father, for today. Thank you. Let your name be praised.